All right, let's start disassembling the TP22. There will be two disassemblies. The first one will be the upper part, the slide, and in the second video we will disassemble the complete lower. Let's get started. First, remove the magazine, make sure it's not in the pistol, and now pull this tab, grab it like this, and pull it to the bottom. Now, slightly move it forward and take it away from the body. It's not like a typical Glock style when you rack it and you pull to the front, just a little bit and away. This is in the different disassembly, the second part. We will be focusing on this part right here. Let's take out the recoil spring, just pull it slightly back and lift it. Now we can take out the barrel. We will remove it from the nozzle and we just get it out like this. All right. Let's start first with the barrel and how do we get to the hop-up. First things first, as you can see, there is not much except these two screws. Important warning. These are screw glued. There is a screw glue because we don't want this to wobble. We don't want the red dot plate to wobble. They are screw glued in place. If you don't have the right tool, don't proceed because you will strip it and you will not be able to take it off without dremeling a slot in there and somehow getting it out. All right, you've been warned. They are screw glued. We don't want to strip it. I would recommend using Torx for these. This one. Make sure that it fits nicely and it's not loose. We need all the grip we can get. So I'm using a Torx 8. Now, these tend to have tolerances. Double check that it's nice and snug fit in there. All right, with that out of the way, there is screw glue. We need to loosen it up. You can use a heat gun. I'm gonna use this. You can use a lighter, whatever. We need to make it loose. That should be enough. Don't overdo it, but also we need to get it a little warm. And now make sure that it's all the way in and just loosen it. It looks easy, but if you don't have the right tools with the right size and you don't heat it up, you will be stripping that screw. Now we do the second one. That should be about right. And we repeat exactly the same thing. All right. Also went quite easily because we did it the right way. All right. Now, as you can see, we have the rest, and now we can continue normal, typical disassembly. Now, this is the hop-up adjustment wheel. I like to turn it until it resets, and now we have maximum space. We can actually remove it, but I found it's not necessary. It's just held in place with one screw. We take the pressure pad and the pressure arm. This can just stay in place. There is absolutely no need to remove that one. You can, if you have a particular reason. I don't think it's needed. Now there is one screw or set screw here that holds the barrel. So we take this one out and this whole thing slides off. At this point there is nothing holding the barrel and the rubber inside. It's not a typical clamping thing. It's just one piece, and how we remove it is we pull out and everything will come. And everything will come. Don't do it like this. Tends to spring out. Now the hop-up bucking goes away, and this is basically empty shell. Again, we could remove this, but there is absolutely no reason. This is just a wheel that spins around. All right, we are done with this part. And we will continue with the slide. For that, we will need Phillips head screwdriver, and we just unscrew this one screw right there. If I'm not mistaken, that's the only screw we will be taking out. We will set it aside, and that allows us to remove the rear sight. Now this falls out. Also, we will take this out. There is a spring on the bottom. Keep it there. Now we will remove the selector switch, and if you look from the other side, there is a cutout that will allow us to remove it. We want to align it with that cutout, and now we push from this side and we will take it out. There is a spring-loaded pin on the inside. Don't let it jump out too far. So I'm gonna push very slowly and take it out. And as you can see, here is the spring-loaded pin that we don't want to lose. Set it aside and we can continue. Now we can remove the whole nozzle housing, and we are left with the slide. There is one more Phillips head screw right here. If you want to remove the front side, you would just get a longer Phillips head screwdriver, you unscrew it, and that's pretty much it. All right. Now let's take a look at the housing for the nozzle. Here, one spring, we take it out. And if you want to continue, we will need to pull this, the nozzle out. We need to use a bit of force, push it downwards and out. Just like that. We can take it apart. Now, if you want to get inside of the nozzle to the floating valve that's inside, we need to punch out this pin. Look closely and you will see that one of the ends has serrations on the side. Don't punch from that side, punch where you don't see any serrations. In this case, it's this side, and as you can see, here the edge is serrated. And we take it out. We have the floating valve, and also there is a spring in there. All right, now the nozzle is completely empty, and we can proceed with this one. Phillips head screwdriver. We unscrew the head. The seal comes right off, and that's as far as we can disassemble the whole top slide. Now we are completely disassembled, one screw for the wheel and one Phillips head screw for the side, but I think that's pretty easy to do. Now we will continue with the next video in which we will put it back together.